Hey everybody, welcome to Not Your Average Chit. I'm Rand and this is
Tina.
And here on Not Your Average Chit, we like to talk about games with quirky mechanics and a little bit of interesting social dynamics. Um, what we've got lined up for you today is MetroX, which is designed by Hisashi and published by Okazu brand in Japan. But we've got a copy here with us. We played it quite a bit and I like it. What about you?
I love it. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to the teach, huh? Alright, so Metro X is a game of a type that's called like a roll and write. It's fairly new taxonomy for a game. It's a fairly new genre, but the way a roll and write works is that typically you have a pool of dice and you roll the dice, and then it's a common pool that everybody's going to use to write on a sheet of paper. Through the course of the game, you'll have so many moves or be filling up so much of your sheet, and then you're done. Metro X is a little bit different in that instead of dice, it uses cards. This eliminates a little bit of the randomness. You kind of know what to expect in the deck. Um, But yeah, that's the way MetroX is a little bit different. Um, I love MetroX because it's actually really puzzly, similar to the game we played last week, Rolling World. But I think this is quite a bit of a step up. So let me describe how the game is played. I hope you guys can see these all right. These are our individual player sheets. And there are actually two stacks in the game box. There's Tokyo, and then there's also Osaka. I can show the Osaka map once we're finished here. The Tokyo map is a little bit easier, but like I said, it's pretty darn puzzly. So we've got a deck of cards here with numbers and some symbols, and these are going to be what actually allow us to do our moves as we fill up the sheet. So let me pull out a few here to actually describe the game. Right. So the first card I'll explain is just a regular number, like this. I'll do it right side up. There we go. So this is the number 4. And what a 4 does, or any just plain number, is allows you to fill in or build different stops along your lines in Tokyo. So on the far left, you can see, let me just make these a little darker. So these are thick bordered boxes, and we're going to be writing numbers and symbols in these thick bordered boxes on the side, and using those to actually build out our station. So with a number, what I can do with a number is write that number in any one of these boxes on any line that I choose. Right? Then I go to the first empty space on that line and fill in boxes with circles up to that number. So with a 4, I would fill in 4 circles in a row on that line. Right? Next, the other rule about this is that once you reach a square that already has a circle in it, you have to stop. It's almost like wasted movement. So if I had a 4 and this box was somehow filled, it's not actually possible, but for the sake of the example, if this box is filled, then I could only go 1, 2, and then stop. I couldn't actually keep completing my line. Okay. The next card is a skip card. The skip card has a little circle around it, and what it allows you to do is skip over the rule that I just mentioned. So if this box was full, I could fill in two squares but I could skip over the one that is full. And you can skip over any number that are full. If there are 3 filled in a row, you could do the one at the beginning and then one at the very end. It's all in how you kind of plan out your board. The next card we've got is the freeze circle. The freeze circle, you do not have to write on the side, and then you can just put that circle anywhere on the board that you choose. You can just do it willy-nilly. It really helps in filling in the spaces that you've left out earlier. So rather than a skip, you could actually use a freeze circle to kind of get in the way there. The next one, and this one's a little tricky, is the star. The star is an intersection card, and the intersection card, you're going to write a star on one of your lines. Then, the same way that you do with the regular numbers, you're going to follow that line to the first empty square. You're going to look at that square and count up the amount of lines going into and out of that square. So for example, this square right here has 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines coming in and out. So I would write the number 4 in that square. At the end of the game, we're going to be counting up the number of lines that you complete and also those intersection points. So the higher number you can write in that square, the better. The last card that I'll explain, this looks like a regular number and you play it just like a regular number. What makes it a little different is that with the 6, there's a little symbol here telling you to shuffle. So once a 6 comes out, any kind of card counting that you may have done trying to figure out what's left in the deck is gone to waste. You got to start all over. So everything in the deck is going to shuffle back together, and we're going to have a fresh deck. So how else do you score, you might ask? What are we actually trying to do? Well, on the far left, for each line, there are 2 numbers. Let me zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see. This is going to be a little blurry, but this number in the yellow is 2 and then a 1. Whoever completes the line first is going to get the number in yellow and just circle that number. Anybody else who completes that line subsequently is going to get the gray number. And we're playing with 2 tonight, but if you're playing with 3, 5, 15, it doesn't matter which order you go in for the second number. You could be the 5th one to finish that line, and you can still get those points just by circling it. Also, if you tie for the first, so if 2 people complete a line on the same card, you both get the first place points. So at the end of the game, or actually, the end of the game happens when all of these boxes are filled in. So if everybody's keeping track, everybody's going to finish at the same time. So once the game is finished, we're going to add up the points we've earned for completing lines. Then we're going to add up the points that we've earned from the intersections, like those little star cards. Then, this is kind of the nasty part, we're going to put an X through every empty space that's left on our sheet. We're going to count up those X's and then compare it to this chart. In this chart, we've got a number of squares on the left side and then negative points on the right side that are going to be subtracted from our score for not building enough for Tokyo. Okay? So I think that's all for the game. Anything else?
Yeah, I think you covered everything.
All right. I leave these 2 cards here. Sorry they're a little shiny. This game's kind of hard to get in the US, so I've got it protected. This card right here just shows the number and the type of cards that are in the deck, so it's kind of an easy reference. Both of these you just pass out to each player at the beginning of the game. Since we're playing together, I'll just share one. Alright, so once these are shuffled up, we can get off and running and building our metro.
Yep,
It is incredibly hot here in Boston, and Boston does not have any AC, like central AC, and I don't want to run an AC in here because it's just a lot of noise. So we are sweating like crazy. It is so hot. Not quite the South, where I think my parents have said that it's like up in like 105 in Texas right now. So,
let's do this.
all right, you want to do the honors?
Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's not good.
That is a terrible card to start with. So we don't have anything to skip, which means we're just wasting the skip 2. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine at the Fukutoshin. The Fukutoshin isn't worth many points, so I'm just gonna kind of use it to help stuff out. So I write my 2 in the box and then circle in 2 right here. I hope this is showing up for you guys. Alright, we've got a 4. That is a much better start. You're up. And 3. I'm going to use the purple. So one thing about this game that's pretty cool is as you get kind of used to the way that the cards come out and also kind of used to the sheet, is you can see that some of the lines actually help each other out. I'm still not great at this game. Like I'll teach the game and still lose to people all the time that are playing for the first time. But you can help a line out and then hopefully have like, good spots and filled spots for the line later on, so you don't have to do as much work with those lines in the future. So the 2. Put mine on the Chiyoda because I only have 2 spots before my filled one. I'm going to need a skip to fill this in.
Yay. 5.
Big 5. I don't think I have a good spot for this yet. Let's put it down here on the Hibiya, the gray line. There we go. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going for it. We got a 2. All these low numbers coming out early.
Yeah, it's always like that. Okay.
I don't know which one I want to do. It's pretty terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's not enough. Alright, I'll do it here anyway. Doing the green line. And now you can see I can only fill this in. I can't actually keep going. So the second movement's just wasted. Alright, we got a 4. I have a good spot for a 4.
No.
4. Put it on the Namboku.
Okay, here's one done.
Which one did you do?
F line. So you see your F line goes like so.
Nice.
Only 2 points, but
That's the one I always ruin. Alright, a free circle. I plan too well. I can't use the free circle. I already reduced my movement. Let's use it for something that's going to help a couple things. We'll do it right here. So it's going to help the purple and this blue Tozai line in the future.
okay.
Did you have a gap you could fill?
I have a couple of gaps, but I just filled that one.
That one too.
That just, yeah, I had like a lot.
Oh, okay.
4 points. Star. No, that's good.
So we have an intersection. Can I do the green? That'd be a nice one. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to do the green. And that's going to be right here. And if you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines going in and out. So I'm just write the number 8 in here.
Yeah, I had only 4. This is the best I can do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, you want to flip?
3.
Got 3. Do the 3 in the Tozai, which lands me perfectly at the one I've already filled in. And then it's filled in for 3 squares. Okay. So it's like 3 free movement. Alright, we've got a skip 2. That should help you.
Yay.
Doesn't help me though. Orange.
Doesn't help.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Orange, I'll do it 2. Go there. Alright, next card. We have another intersection.
Ooh.
I don't think I have a line I want to use.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, I'll lose my blue, but
These aren't good. Alright, I'm just gonna spoil my orange here and do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Next up, another intersection. Oh my gosh.
oh well.
Oh, that should have a star. Wait. Where did I write the star?
I have 2 of them here.
Yeah, I did one on the green, and then that should not be there. It should be on the orange.
Mm.
So that one's open. I'll go ahead and use it. It's only 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need to get some help.
It's time to shuffle.
Oh, they're not going to help each other either. Oh well. Those are gone. 4. There we go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go.
F5.
5. I've got a spot for a 5.
Oh yay, that's good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Doing it right. Yep. Okay, I have finished. N line.
Namboku. I could have done the same thing, but I didn't. I used it on the red instead.
Oh.
I'll get the second place maybe. A 3. I'll use it on the red. 1, 2, 3. My red is almost finished.
Yeah. Oh no. As it just lost 2. Ooh, 6.
Oh, get into a reshuffle. Alright. I don't think I have a good spot. Oh yeah, I can do.
Yeah.
You can do the Tozai.
Can do green.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have one more box that I can use to finish it here.
Is that a 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can now finish this one. Oh, this is all bad. Because they have all like the spots that.
Yeah.
Oh, forget about that. I'm not gonna be able to finish it. Okay.
Alright, time to shuffle.
Bad planning.
So, in addition to the heat, I was also working on my car today. Put 4 new brake rotors and 4 new pads on, and it was 95 degrees here in Boston, just working in the sun. Tina was great though. I got water, a little brewski. She was like the surgeon's assistant a couple of times. Like, I need the 12 millimeter. 14. But,
It's a hot day.
It was so hot, and getting the rear rotors off was a hassle. I mean, really, really tough. The guy didn't use any lube the last time he worked on them, so I had a tough time getting stuff done, but got it.
You did it. You did a good job.
I've got stopping power. Alright, you want to do it?
Yay, skip.
That's exactly what you want. I can do the same. Alright, so 3, do 1 there, follow, 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 1 there, and 1 there. Okay.
One more skip, please.
You got a 3.
Yep.
Can I do anything with a 3? I could finish all kinds of lines. I'm just going to go ahead and finish the Tozai, I think. Yeah, I'll finish the Tozai, the big long blue one, and get 7 points.
Let's go.
You're up.
Oh, free one.
Free one. That's nifty. Can I use it here? Help up my little Hibiya gray line. Alright.
Start.
Oh, I did not want to see that.
No.
Oh, I've got one spot that I can do something cool with this. So on the red, I'll write the star and then write a 2 in here. And now the line is completed.
Oh, nice.
So I get 5 points at the end of the game.
Oh, man.
For filling it in.
Can I find a good spot to put it?
It's only 2 points, but at least I get the 5 to go with it. I'm not wasting any other movement either. We'll see if it pays off.
Okay, I'm not gonna finish that, so I'm gonna put it here. Which is 2.
games too.
Mm.
Okay. You want to flip the next one?
I need a lot of skips. Ugh.
A 3. Okay. Where's a good spot for this? I'm going to finish the Yurakucho and get 4 points for finishing and just fill this in.
I should sacrifice
What are you sacrificing?
that. If you just do, I have to pick. So.
Okay. Next up, we have a 4. I have a perfect spot for a 4. Namboku.
That was
1,
bad sacrifice.
2, 3, 4. And you already finished it, so I'm only going to get 2 points from that one.
Okay, finish the purple one.
Nice. I have no chance of finishing the purple line. I'm going to flip the next one.
This is going to be the last one, yeah?
One more.
Then how do we finish this one?
You have one there.
Yeah. Okay, yep. Okay, 4. So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
I have finished this line, but I have one spot empty.
You can just burn it
Okay.
if you want. You can write the 4 there if you don't want to use it.
Yeah, but...
Hoping for a skip.
Yeah. That's the only way I can
Oh, I need to do my 4.
score something. I did awful. I have so many
Sacrificing my purple.
empty things.
Last card.
Nope.
Doesn't do any of us any good.
Mm-hmm.
But I get to fill in more squares.
I only got to fill one more
1,
square.
2, 3, 4. And 1 square away. Alright. So now we go to in-game scoring. You want to count your bonuses? And move it over.
Okay, so let's start from here. I got only 2 and 4. Okay, so 10.
10?
Yep.
Okay.
So that will be this part.
This is the first game I've got nice bonuses in a while. I have 4 and 7 and 5, which is 16, and then 2 more for 18.
Nice. Well done.
Thanks.
So here I got 4, 12, 14, 20.
20?
Yep.
Okay. That's not bad. I think that's better than what I got. I only got 2 and 8 for 10, plus 4 is 14, and then 2 more for 16. So we actually evened out almost.
Kind of almost. You still have.
Alright, now for the pain. Cross these out. Different people have different ways of doing this. The rules say to cross them out, and I always find it the easiest, so I do that. So you're still going.
16.
So how many X's do you have?
Oh my
16?
God. Yep.
So looking up here, 16 gets a -7.
Okay, so I have 23.
Alright. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 goes here, and then looking at the chart, I get a -6, so only -1 more, or 1 less. So -6. So I have 28.
Awesome. That was.
I feel like these scores are okay. They're not great.
We've done better.
We've done better.
Yep.
So what's something that you like about this?
It's like how you can predict, and you like think that you can plan, but you actually cannot really. Like when you go further in the game and more cards come, like you're like, oh my god, I didn't see this happening. So it's fun, and then you get to reshuffle the whole thing. It means that you cannot count.
Yeah. So how do you think it compares to Rolling World, like we played last week?
Well, I think that's when you have more control of like actually having a plan in the beginning and going for something than the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think this has a lot more strategy involved. It's more puzzly and like more of a predictable puzzle. Um, yeah, I also like that. Yeah, the cards rather than rolling
Yeah.
dice, you just have a little bit more predictability to the game, um, and that goes a long way for me. I still highly recommend Rolling America. It's it's just so cheap. You can get it for like $6 to $10 at your grocery store. This one, I don't know if it's coming to the U.S. yet. There's no announcement made, but there are a few places you can get this if this has kind of got you interested. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't show you the Osaka map. So this is the Osaka map, and the Osaka map is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. One starting from the other side of the paper. The shit. Yep.
Yeah, so lines starting
I
inside of
love
other
that.
lines. This one's really short. It's only like 5 boxes long, 6 boxes long. But yeah, you've got starting on the other side, so you're moving in two different directions. It's tough. It's really tough. I've never scored well on this. Um, we need to play this more. But it's a great solo game too. You can play it on your own. One other kind of cool thing. The instructions. It's really just one big fold-out sheet. This with all the rules on one side, but then the other side has a real map of well, kind of a real map of the Tokyo Metro and the Osaka Metro system. So like, these are actually based on real life metro systems, which is pretty cool. It doesn't name all the stations like they are in here, but that's pretty cool. And then on the other side of the sheet, you have this cute comic on how to play MetroX. It's pretty great. This is something that I've seen in quite a few Japanese games. You'll have the rules and then just this really quick, kind of comical playthrough how to play at the end. Um, so, how can you get this? Well, our friends over at Nice Game Shop actually don't have it in stock right now, but should be. I've talked to the guys and they're hoping to get more stock in. There's a link to their shop in the description below, so check them out. They've got a lot of other cool, quirky Japanese games. But then other places you could look. The Meeple Source in the U.S. have, I think they still have a couple copies. Board Game Geek Store, I think, has a couple of copies. Um, I get mine straight from Japan. I just order with folks over there. But oh, I'll do this hand because you can see it. But I would like to give away a copy of this. I have a new and shrink copy of this that I would just like to give away because I like to do that kind of thing. So when we hit 250 subscribers, I'll go ahead and do a raffle for that just from the subscriber list. What do you think about that?
That's cool. Yeah. It's
Cool.
a nice thing to do, yeah.
I've been talking with a friend over at GameRight, and we may have some copies of Rolling America to give away also as kind of lead up prizes. So if you've liked this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And then other videos going on. Heavy Cardboard is always doing stuff. I'm not sure what they've got on for this week. Tiffany Cares, the one tar, all one word, like the ONETAR. She's doing a live stream over on Twitch this evening, as well as later in the week. Check those guys out. And until next time, thanks for.
Not hot here.
Yeah. Whew. A summer in Boston sometimes is too much. So I'm Rand and
Tina.
And we are Not Your Average Chit. Thanks for joining us. See you next time, guys. Bye.